Hello everyone, welcome to another Wednesday with Wendy. Today we are talking about how to relieve your neck pain. I've had so many clients come in lately who are experiencing neck pain, and they're talking about not being able to, move past here. They're struggling with range of motion and it's interrupting their sleep and very uncomfortable. So I thought today would be a wonderful day to talk about neck pain. I wanted to start with an announcement and then with a personal story with neck pain. And then we'll go into the whys of how neck pain happens. There might be some things that you haven't thought about in the past. And we're going to talk about how to work through this neck pain, especially if it's chronic. I hope that you can stick around for the tips and tools I'll be sharing today about the whys and hows and how to relieve it, and maybe even help you understand why getting a massage every once in a while helps to relieve and prevent headaches and migraines. So let's start with the announcement. I am happy and excited to announce that I'm joining my industry in offering a gift certificate to everyone who books a massage between July 18th through 24th. I normally work Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, but if I book up those 3 days, then I will definitely open up more days, more times. If you can't find a time that works for you, I'll be sharing a link below in the comments for you to be able to go over to my calendar. And if you know somebody who has been really struggling this past year with COVID, this is why we are coming together to offer massage to as many people as possible, especially those who cannot afford it and really, really need it. So if you can afford it and you would love to come and get a massage from me, I will give you a 60-minute gift certificate, 60-minute massage gift certificate to give to somebody that you really feel needs it in their life and would really enjoy receiving some body work from me. All right, so personal experience. A couple of weeks ago, and it was probably more like a month ago, I went out and I use diatomaceous earth to sprinkle on my plants, my flowers especially. It's kind of a more natural form of pesticide, and I'm trying to go organic in my yard. So I went out there and I used the pesticide to kind of just sprinkle around to get rid of ants and other things like that. So that was on a Monday. Well, 2 days later, I ended up with a really terrible neck pain up along my right side. Especially, it started right there at the top of my neck. It traveled down my right side, across my shoulder, across my upper back, and down my arm, and it also affected my hand. It started affecting the front of my chest and down my back. So it was kind of all of a sudden, and I wasn't sure where it came from. And I thought I needed to go get a chiropractor adjustment. I thought that my axis was off. I was like checking, because I'll look in the mirror. I'm like, am I off here? I'm looking to see what's going on here. I'm like, what's going on? Is my neck out? Does my cervical spine need to be adjusted? Is my hips out? I was wondering all these things like physically. I instantly went to the physical, trying to figure out the physical answers to my pain, because it was just all of a sudden, and I hadn't had that before that day, at least that intense. So then I just thought for a minute. I thought, maybe I can figure this out on my own. Maybe maybe there's some things that I can do for myself before I reach out to get an adjustment. I wanted to see if I could figure it out before I did that. So I decided to go to my energy work, and I use the Red Door bowl. This is how I do my remote energy healing, and I use a pendulum to ask yes or no questions. So this is my bowl. I have one bowl for each person in my family. I have a bowl for my property, and I have a bowl for 2 clients that I'm working with full time. So I use the bowl to ask questions, yes or no questions. And when I ask yes questions, it turns to the right. When I ask questions that answers no, then it turns to the left. So you can kind of see that it's already responding to my yes/no desires. So I went to my bowl, my energy bowl, and by the way, this creates scalar waves, which is a really cool way to do energy work outside of time and space. So anyways, I went to my bowl and I asked some questions. What is the cause of my neck pain? And I have a 1,500-page book that I have access to, a research book that I can go through and check and see what the underlying cause of pain and disorder is. So I went to that book and I was going through the pages, section by section. Is there information in this section of the book that will tell me the underlying cause of my neck pain? So, interesting enough, I love doing this work because it's like Christmas. Every time I do it, it comes out a big surprise. So, interestingly enough, it ended up being a pesticide. And the only thing I could think of was from 2 days prior. I had the pesticide. I hadn't used gloves. I didn't use a mask, and it was kind of just flying up in the air, and I was breathing it in. And so what I had to do was clear the pesticide from my system. All I did was put a statement in the bowl, and my neck pain was gone within a few hours. And then I went back, and so that's the point of my story, is that sometimes muscle pain can come from things that you don't really think that can cause it. And for me, I was really surprised that it happened to be a pesticide that I'd used the other day. So once I went and finished that statement, I asked how long it needs to be in there and how long it takes for my body to clear the pesticide from my system, because that's what the scalar wave does. Is it responds to the statement I put in the bowl, and it clears it from my system. So I went back to the bowl, asked it another question: Is there anything else that needs to be cleared from my system, so that I can take care and clear out the underlying cause of my neck pain, because it was still kind of lingering. So I went through my manual, and I found that I needed to clear gluten and peanuts from my system. And so I knew, okay, well, I'm going to take a break from gluten and peanuts right now and see if that works. So I did. I put a statement in the bowl to clear peanuts and gluten from my body, and I stopped eating those 2 things, and I stopped having neck pain, and I didn't need to go to the chiropractor. It wasn't a physical thing. Well, it was a physical thing, but it wasn't like structural where I normally that's my first response to pain, is a structural problem. So it was kind of fun to go at it a different way, a different, like, nutritional and also environmental. So here's the thing. When you're having neck pain, and I'm going to take you through some steps to help you, take care of this on your own at home, so that to kind of like check off the list. So, I'm going to show you a few stretches. I'm going to help you do some body-mind connecting. I'm going to help you check in with your emotions and do some breathing, because once you check these off your list and you know that it's not these type that it's something more than maybe just your normal stress of relaxation in your neck, stress and tension in your muscle, then you can take care of that first and see if it's something else, and then you can give me a call, or you can give your chiropractor a call or another massage therapist. Okay, so here's some reasons why, other than environmental toxins that I told you about, breathing in the toxins, there's so many different toxins out there that we don't even know that we're breathing in that affects our biosystem. So there's all kinds of stress. There's so often I hear my clients tell me that they haven't been under stress, and I ask them, well, have you had any stress happen to you that's different than normal? And they're like, no, I haven't had any. I actually haven't had any stress. So what I would like to do is to clarify what stress actually means. It's not stress is so much more than just feeling busy and not getting not having time to sit down and think. Right? It's more than just being busy. There's so many different ways that the body becomes stressed. We already talked about environmental toxins. We talked about some foods that might be toxic for your body. So often, or every time, not oftentimes, but every time you come into an external, anytime there's stress that's in your external environment, it affects you internally, your internal environment. So if you think about your external environment, we've got that checked off. So maybe you could think about an emotional or difficult conversation you might have had with a family member, or a stressful situation that you had recently, going to a family reunion or a family get-together and it was stressful, or something like that you had anxiety over. So that's external. There's other internal factors that create stress inside, and that is, first, your breath. If you're breathing shallow, it creates stress on all of your systems, all the systems of the body. Your body's unable to, the blood in your body is unable to move normally. The carbon dioxide isn't able to move normally, like when you exhale. Your nervous system is interrupted, and it can't function the way it needs to and fire up when it needs to. It gets interrupted in that body-mind connection. Also, there's stress on the gut when we're nervous or anxious or depressed, or all feelings of anxiousness, feelings of nervousness and worry. There's also another aspect that we haven't talked about yet is your body mechanics. So this is something I specifically shared with a client the other day. If your body mechanics at work when you're sitting at a desk is not inappropriate, your lower back will hurt, and when your lower back hurts, your neck mirrors the lower back. So the body is connected head to shoulders, shoulders to hips, hips to knees, and knees to toes. So think about your shoes. I know this is kind of far away from the neck, but the whole body is connected. Think about the shoes you're wearing. Think about the sandals you're wearing. Do they have arch supports? Are your feet hurting? So this is one of the things that we're going to go through today, is doing a mindfulness check, a body-mind mindfulness check. So, all right, let's start doing, one other thing. I just have this right in front of me that I didn't want to forget, was one really cool tip that I always share with my clients is that if you have cramps and lots of cramping, or just all of a sudden cramping, or just general tension, hydration is the number one thing that you need to think about. So if you have a glass of water nearby, I highly recommend you take a drink. And there's two things that I want to talk to you about really quick before we move on to the rest of this video. Is there's two minerals, two things that I supplement my water with. I don't drink water without these two things anymore. One is my electrolytes. I put a few drops of electrolytes in every glass of water I drink. And electrolytes are very, very good for cramps. So I've had one client who cramps every time he comes for massage. And as soon as he started taking a few drops of this in his water, every glass of water, he stopped cramping. He doesn't wake up in the middle of the night anymore, and he doesn't like stop me in the middle of a session to like calm down his leg. So it works. Electrolytes. And just so you know, the first thing that comes to your mind when you're wanting to buy electrolytes, I know some of you like your sports energy sports drinks. That is the worst kind of source of electrolytes you could get, because it has sugar alternative in it, and anytime you see any label with 0 sugar on it, most likely there is a sugar alternative, which is a chemical and will kill the microbiome in your gut and cause all kinds of inflammation. So that's another reason why we have pain in our muscles, is because of inflammation. So if you want to prevent inflammation, get your electrolytes from a quality source, which is Trace Minerals. This is just a Trace Minerals brand. These two things help to, this is called Mineral Blend Fulvic, and it just turns my water just a little bit brown. What happens is the electrolytes clean off your cells and all the junk that gets into your body. The electrolytes cleans off your cells, and then you have to have a way to export the junk away from your body, out of your body. That's what this is for. This is to help eliminate the junk that the electrolytes peel away from the cells. So if you know you're in a lot of or you're exposed to a lot of environmental toxins, like if you work at a hospital and you're around chemically, like cleansers all the time, and you're breathing it in, you need electrolytes and fulvic. If you are working in a city and you're outside a lot and you're breathing in exhaust, you definitely need, especially in the city, there's a lot more environmental toxins in the air. You need to do a daily detox. This is the easiest detox you can do in your life. So I'm going to take a drink of water, hydrate my body. Without magnesium and potassium in your body, you will get crampy, your muscles tighten up. So I could go on and on about the reason why our muscles get tight. I mean, we need to supplement our bodies with minerals and nutrients. Our bodies do not create, they don't produce their own minerals, and we need minerals in our bodies. Trace minerals, we need the minerals, okay? So just don't forget that. Minerals, electrolytes. All right, so let's go on to the next thing here as we talk about relieving neck pain, I'm going to have you check in with your body right now. All right, so if you're crossing your legs, uncross your legs, put your feet on the floor, and do you feel pain anywhere else? Do a quick body scan all the way from your feet. Remember, our necks are connected to our toes. And I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. So check in with your feet. How do your feet feel? And think about last time you went walking. Did your calves hurt when you went walking? Did your IT band hurt when you were walking? Were your hips moving smoothly when you were walking or hiking? Last time you were hiking? Do you have any pain in your lower back at this time, like currently, or even the last time you were at work and sitting at your desk in mid-back? Take a couple deep breaths and just check in with all of these areas of your body. Do you feel like there's tension in your jaw or across the front of your chest, across your top of your shoulders? Are you having any sensations, like any numbness, any tingling in your body? Any pricks happening? Just check in with your body. Where are you at? This is a really good way to practice building your intuitive muscle, is by checking in with your body and seeing where you're at. Are you feel the dominant pain may be your neck, but chances are there's somewhere else in your body that you're feeling it too. And you use your breath to find it. If you're struggling to even feel anything else in your body, you may be at a point where it's time to reconnect the body-mind so that you can listen to what your body needs. And that's why we have pain. That's why we have a nervous system. The nervous system is a communication tool in our bodies to tell us what's going on. It's not to cause harm or discomfort or, to make us feel bad. It's just to communicate. It's just a communication tool. So if you start to switch your perspective around how the nervous system talks to you and why it talks to you, is to educate you about where your body is at, then that's the first step to reconnecting the body and the mind and coming back into a place of balance and holistic balance and harmony. So then we might be asking, okay, so I can feel other kind of feelings in my body. Then you might ask, what might be the underlying cause of this pain? Is it coming from somewhere else? Is it coming from an interior stress? A stress on your cells where you're feeling like, yeah, maybe it is time to do some daily detoxing. Is it coming from your exterior environment where you feel nervous about your environment? About too many things on your plate. You've said too many things, yes to too many things, and you've got too much going on. Are you feeling like your mind can't stop and you can't sleep at night? Is it something like that? Is it mental? Is it emotional? Are you really feeling worry and fear? Are you angry about something? Do you get triggered easily? All these things have to do with physical stress, physical pain. So then you look into your body mechanics. How are you standing at work? How are you sitting at work? How are you doing your housework? How are you doing your yard work? So all of these things, as you think about how our lives are interconnected, our external, our internal environments weave together, and by understanding how it weaves together, we can connect the dots and understand why it's happening, the underlying cause of the pain. And one other thing that just came to my mind is I had a client yesterday tell me that they had an arm MRI, and they told me that the reason why they're having so many headaches is because the small blood vessels in their frontal lobe is not getting enough blood flow. So, what might be the underlying cause of lack of blood flow to your brain? And gut health affects the brain health. 80% of our thoughts and emotions start in the gut. So, if you want to improve the health of your mind and your brain and prevent brain pathologies like forgetfulness and things like that, then maybe we need to start taking care of our gut health. Looking at our diet, looking at our environmental toxins, looking at daily detox. All right, so now that we've gone through the emotional aspects, the mental aspects, the environmental aspects, let's go into the physical. Let's go into some physical relief, because I know that's what you all want. You want some stretches, right? So if you are mostly sitting in a chair, this is something you can do at work if you're in a chair most of the day. If you just reach one hand back and just open up your chest, breathing in through your nose. And I'm just going to turn to the side so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Can't really see, can you? So I'm reaching up here with my hand. Pulling my hand up slowly. And reaching back and opening up my chest. And then other side, using mother hand to kind of pull it back so you can kind of see I'm pulling this hand back like this, reaching over, and if you can't do this stretch, that's okay. And this is a really good one for that side arm, is just holding on to your arms like this. and just pulling down on your shoulders so that they're dropping away from your ears. I'm just holding my arms. I'm holding my elbows as close as possible, pulling my elbows together, letting my shoulders drop, breathing into my belly. And I always like to do 3 nice deep breaths. Inhale and exhale longer than the inhale. So in for 4 and exhale for 6. The next one I'm going to show you is using a straight hand. So with your palm facing away from you, push your hand down by your side, like this. Maybe I can put my chair back a little bit so you can see me. So I'm putting my hand down by my side, reaching over, remembering to breathe in slow, deep into your belly, and exhale. All right, let's do the other side, reaching out, kind of like a flat hand, pulling it down toward the seat of my chair. You can actually put your hand on your chair if you want to, and actually, let's see if I can get this at a right angle here. Right, you can see my hand right here. I'm just going to angle this down for a second. So my hand, I can grab the bottom of my chair. Alright, so I'm grabbing the bottom of my chair, and that is a really nice stretch right here. So breathing in for 4. I'm keeping my nose straight forward. Exhale for 6. Let's do the other side. Grabbing the bottom of the chair by your hip and opening up the opposite side of the neck. And whichever side is more tight, you can just hang out there for a little while. So now we're going to do a little bit of self-massage here. So just holding your fingers about 1 inch to 2 inches apart, holding on to either side of the neck, not pushing on the spine at all. I have my fingers about 1 inch apart. And encouraging the cervical spine to relax as you pull forward and let your nose come up. Open up this front of your neck. We're looking down so often at our phones, at our computers. These muscles get really tight and cause pain to travel up behind our neck. So pulling and rotating. I'm just pulling forward on my neck. Opening up the throat. And really an exaggerated pulling up on my chin to really get a nice stretch across the front of my neck. Reaching up and looking up at the ceiling. Pulling down, using your palms across your chest to kind of hold down the front of your neck so you're below your collarbones. You can feel the stretch when you look up. And rotate from left to right. So I can feel that opening up here in my throat here. And up across here. So I'm putting a gentle pressure on my chest bone. Feeling that stretch all the way across behind the jaw. Okay, so then I'm going to move from the jaw. I'm going to move to the side. So we're going to move in circles. From behind the jaw, below the ear. 3 circles. All the way down the side of the neck. So I'm in between. There's a kind of a big muscle right here. And then there's the big muscle behind. It kind of splits apart right here. One goes forward and one goes back. So we're working between that area with kind of a flat finger here. And I'm just doing 3 circles, moving down toward my trap. So that straight line down across. Using my opposite hand because it's easier. You know, you can use opposite hand all the way down. And then pinching with these 2 fingers, the top of the trap, up and down. Moving across the shoulder, up and down. One more, up and down. And moving back up, pinching and pulling down. Moving back up closer to the neck, pinching up and down. So the motion I'm using is up and down. And I can feel kind of some muscles that are tight along behind my shoulder. So what I'll do to really get a nice stretch and self-massage out of that is I'll bring both my hands around and give myself a hug while pushing on that knot. And I'm rotating from the waist to kind of, so you don't have to move your fingers, just by moving your whole waist, from your waist up, that muscle across the back of your upper back will rotate and you'll be able to massage it without any problems. Okay, so let's switch sides. So I've got the top hand that I want to massage my shoulder right here. Find that knot behind your back. Give yourself a hug. Find that knot that's bothering you and then just hold it. You don't need to move your fingers. Just rotate back and forth. And that will help you massage that knot right behind your shoulder. And So if you want to go ahead and do the other side, pulling up and down on that trap, and then moving across the side of your neck, you'll be able to find. And I highly recommend you don't push too hard. This is a sensitive area, and you don't want to get too close to your throat, and you don't want to push too hard because you've got some major arteries through there. So all we're doing is just kind of relieving some surface tension. We're not going deep. Please do not go deep on this. If you do, I didn't tell you to. Because it's not recommended that you do any deep work on yourself. You need a lot of professional do that for you. Okay, so a couple more stretches for the upper back. For those of you who aren't as flexible, put your arms at a 90-degree angle and bring your elbows together. Breathing in deep and slow. Okay, so if you're more flexible, these are some yoga stretches that I learned a long time ago that I just absolutely love. But here's what I'm doing. Crossing the elbows. And if this is as far as you can go, that's perfect. If you can cross your fingers too, that's perfect too. So then you breathe in and raise your hands. And fold over. This feels amazing on the neck and the upper back, and swaying back and forth. Breathing deep and slow. Switching arms. If this is all you can do, great. If you want to rotate even more, pull that front arm back and cross over the opposite hand, raising the elbows and folding over, swing back and forth, just enjoying it, breathing deep and slow. And one more stretch to open the chest. Bring the hands behind your back so that you're clasping your fingers together like this. And pushing down towards the chair. And just opening up that neck one more time. We're looking down, putting your chin against your chest. And rotating your shoulders back if you can. If you can only do this, this is great. If you can rotate your shoulders back even more, that's great. Really feel into the stretches. Okay. All right. That is some self-massage, and you actually did some energy work too, because now that you're more flexible and your joints are more open, the energy is flowing more. So now check in. We're going to do a little bit of extra energy work by checking in with your body, doing some body-mind connecting. Check in with your feet, your calves, hamstrings and quads, hips, lower back, mid back, belly, upper back and chest, top of the shoulders, upper arms, lower arms and hands, Breathing deep and slow, moving up to the neck, and top of the head, around the sides of their head, and the forehead, or down the tip of your nose. How do you feel? It's really important to finish a stretching session, especially if you're having chronic pain, to check in with your body often. Ask it what it needs. Ask it what might be the underlying cause of my pain. And just sit with it. Go deep with it. And I promise you, your body will tell you. You just clear your mind with your breath. Tune into your body. So how do you feel now? Do you feel any different? Do you feel the blood moving? Do you feel like a coolness on the surface of your skin? That's all energy. You just did a whole session of energy work on yourself. So congratulations, you're an energy worker. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this relieving neck pain today. Next week I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about relieving pain. I don't know, where should I do it? I want to do another video for relieving pain, so if you have any suggestions, what area of the body you're struggling with. Do you want to do knees? Do you want to do hips? Do you want to do hands? Let me know, and I'll do another video on relieving pain in the body and doing some more energy work and body-mind connecting. And remember that July 18th through 24th, I will be offering, in honor of Massage Week, I am offering everyone who schedules a 60-minute or a 90-minute massage, if you pay full price, I will give you a 60-minute gift certificate to give to somebody in your life who you feel really needs body work, who just doesn't normally take time for themselves to take care of themselves and nurture themselves. So give this gift to somebody who really needs some nurturing, really needs some care and some time to take care of themselves. And again, I thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you soon, and give me some suggestions. Share. Let me know if you want to receive my weekly newsletter. I'm giving away my 7-day menu with a shopping list. If you want to receive that and keep doing that, I would love to support you in that. I know as a mom, it's awesome to get help with and ideas, and just have the shopping list already made for you. It makes life so more simple. So if you'd like to receive those shopping lists, please sign up for my weekly newsletter, and we'll get those right out to you. I'll share the links to everything I just mentioned in the comments below, and I will see you next week. Love you.